A lot of people can probably get on board with this. Georgia Power customers could soon see lower electricity bills. The utility company will receive $22 billion, but this is part of a historic loan from the federal government.
Atlanta News First Niamani Watson is live from Georgia Power headquarters. And Niamani, officials say this is going to save you a lot of money as those data centers are being built, and there's concern that that's going to increase rates.
Oh, right. As you mentioned, the possibility of the rising in utility bills is partly why we've been seeing people protesting against new data centers for months now. But federal energy officials say this new loan will lower costs for millions of customers. Now, Southern Company, which is Georgia Power's parent company, plans to use the money to build new natural gas fueled power plants and upgrade existing power plants. Officials say the deal will save customers over $7 billion in electricity costs by slashing the utility's interest expenses. Now, in his State of the Union address on Tuesday, President Trump announced a pledge to protect customers against higher utility bills tied to AI. He says tech companies will provide their own power as they build data centers. But people who live in DeKalb County say their concerns go beyond just utility bills. They're also worried about the noise, pollution, and environmental impacts these facilities could bring.
They're trying to make us feel better about data centers that we obviously do not want. The community is united on this issue. We do not want large-scale data campuses in DeKalb County.
And last year, the Public Service Commission approved a 3-year rate freeze requested by Georgia Power for customers. Reporting from Georgia Power headquarters, I'm Niamani Watson, Atlanta News First.